The architect at Cordova Bay was also the architect at the Carstairs Golf Club, doing some redesign work, and he came out for a visit in the summer, a site visit, and he suggested that I should apply for this job. He was doing the plans for it, and it was under construction. He knew that I had a real love of horticulture, and he knew that this property was primed for a lot of tree planting and a lot of gardens and stuff to make it different than the other clubs in town. So I came out, and here I am, 20 years later.
What were your impressions when you first saw the property? What was it like?
Well, I was really excited because the only thing I heard was Vancouver when Bill told me about it. So I was thinking I was going to Vancouver, and I ended up on Vancouver Island. I walked around. Jay Bassey picked me up at the airport, and I stayed at his house, and he was just so hospitable, and took me for a walking tour of the golf course, and I just fell in love with it. You know, views of the ocean from the property and the forest. Being from a small town in Alberta, where the largest tree is a 20-foot poplar, it was pretty neat to be out here for sure. I remember the first time I met Moni, it was sort of a casual interview up at Adrian's Tea Garden, and I was really impressed, just the way he handles himself and the questions he was asking and how intently he listens. And the first time, I don't recall when I met Jim for the first time, but just Laurie Carroll, you know, I was introduced to Laurie Carroll and Doug Grove. They were both up at the old pro shop, which is now Shaw Properties office. And yeah, so it was just, they had a family sense about it right out of the gate. I know that there was really good backbones, really good structure right from the start, with the 60-acre mountain in the middle with really nice big large conifers, the fir and the cedars. And then to have, I believe there's like 16 ponds and a stream that goes through the property. So I saw the natural beauty right from the start, and then just my love of different species of trees and stuff. Again, coming from Alberta, where there's about 4 things that grow, I was just amazed driving around. The first thing I did was go to Bouchard Gardens and just drive around the city and see, you know, all the different trees, and that really excited me, the potential of the property. I remember back at the beginning, we'd be down to myself, my assistant, mechanic, and maybe one other, and we'd maybe whip the greens in the morning. We were cutting about 1/4 inch on the greens, and that was about it. Maybe mow the fairways about once a month. And now we have a very active winter league. Expectations for good playing conditions is high, so we're either rolling or mowing pretty much every day through the winter if the weather allows it. I see Cordova Bay, I think, and I do believe it's only going to take another 20 years to fit into the, you know, the realms of the maybe Capilano's a stretch, but the marine drives and some of the private courses that have just time on their side. You know, huge majestic trees. The grass in the greens is just a little tighter because the polos had time to adapt to that finer perennial species like uplands, how fantastic their greens are. So I just think that we're just going to continue to get better. The better species of grass will you know, begin to dominate, and our trees will be bigger, so this will be a real test of golf. It already is, but every year it's going to get better.